Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of Master's Mind. Today we are going to take a look at the replay of a game that I played yesterday. It's going to be a Zerg vs Terran on the map, what is this map called? I played it like a billion times. Shakuras Plateau. There we go. It's going to be a Zerg vs Terran. Yeah, I know, finally a Zerg vs Terran. Most of my games seem to be Zerg vs Zerg and Zerg vs Protoss nowadays, but I'm doing pretty well in Zerg vs Terran as well. I actually played this game yesterday on my live stream. I've been streaming quite a lot the last few days and I have been having a lot of fun doing so. And this is actually a high level Zerg vs Terran play. And what I'm going to do is watch this replay completely through my vision of the game. And we are going to talk about the things that I was thinking about during the game. So, you know, you might get some insight in the stuff that's going on. As for the start of the game, I always like spamming my keys at the start just to make sure that my hands get warmed up and just so I can realize what's going on quicker in the later stage of the game, just because my hands are already used to spamming buttons. Now, since this game was played during the stream, I actually also was talking while streaming. I actually wanted to upload that part first, but it turns out I had some music playing on in the background, so sadly enough I couldn't upload that because of the YouTube restrictions and whatnot. But I will try to actually upload some videos from the live stream if I can. I'm not completely sure if that's possible though, because the audio quality will not be as good as it is right now and whatnot. Oh well, let's get into the game. I'm going to open up with a 15 hatchery right here, and follow it up with a 16 spawning pool if I'm not mistaken. Right now I noticed that he is not cross position, or that he is not close air position, which is a little bit of an advantage for me. So what I'm going to do is send my first overlord right behind the natural gases of his expansion, and my second overlord that is flying around the middle on the left right now. I'm flying that one right behind his mineral line of his main, so I can know what's going on if I feel necessary. And I can use that second overlord to fly in his base if I feel like it's really necessary. Right now, my third overlord, I'm gonna send that right there, as you can see, along that ledge in the top right corner of the map. That one is just going to be used to spot any kind of drops from coming in, and that's actually a pretty nice tip I can give you. Just spread all your overlords individually, like I'm doing right there as well. Just make sure you spread them all across the map, especially versus Terrans, to scout any kind of dropships incoming and whatnot. Now, since my spawning pool is about to be finished, I'm going to be sending some drones to my natural, just to keep them mining right there, and I'm actually going to set them a little bit too early when I'm going to return the cargo anyway, and I'm going to start double queens right now. Now the double queens are going to be necessary because, well, I thought there was, well, the double queens are going to be necessary, but to also get double zerglings, and I thought that was because he didn't have an expansion up, but it turns out my overlord was just not flowing completely in the right direction, or the right direction. So I made 4 zerglings instead of 2. Not the biggest deal. I'm going to send them across the map to see what's going on, see any kind of units from moving out. And right now I'm just going to keep making overlords, keep making drones, and I will try to get as many drones as I possibly can. Now my first queens are about to be finished. I'm going to start the 3rd and 4th queen right away as well, because I will be needing those to start spreading the creep. I'm going to walk up this ramp, see that there's a bunker going down. Right now I'm a little bit, I'm thinking that the bunker is out of position, because normally you would want to place it a little bit closer to your natural, to your command center, just because it will give you a little bit of a wall off. But you know, I don't really want to go for a Baneling Bust or a Roach all in, so what I'm going to do is just get double gases up around the 5-minute mark, and I'm going to use those gases just for the standard kind of stuff, which I will talk about shortly. Right now, just droning. My queens are about to pop out. There we go. My first queen, my third queen rather, is already out. Going to put drones into gases. See that my links are being attacked, so I'm going to move them back. Losing 2 sadly enough, but it turns out it was just a little bit of a tiny bit of pressure. Nothing to be worried about, so I can just keep droning and droning up. Making a few more overlords, actually spreading those once again as well, just in case of drop play later on. And yeah. I'm going to use the 2 zerglings that are still left to let them stand in the watchtower, and my first 100 gas right there was being spent on the zergling speed upgrade. And right now I actually forgot sending a drone to my 3rd base, which is something that you normally want to be doing a little bit before your zergling speed goes down, just in case of Hellions and Banshees going on later on, because then you will have time to put down a Spore Crawler. But right now, going to make my third base right there. Third base going down, rallying that with my rest of my hatcheries and start spreading creep like a madman, because creep is going to be one of the most important things while you're playing this game, especially in Zerg vs Terran. I don't know if you guys actually saw Scarlet play the last MLG, but she was definitely putting on so much creep threat. It was pretty ridiculous, and if you can emulate anything like that, you're basically safe against all kinds of stuff. So right there you can see I'm starting my +1/+1 in my evolution chambers. Seeing that I'm full saturated right now, I'm going to start some link production, because my Zergling speed is about to be finished and I need some links. I'm pretty sure pretty soon to deal with the Hellions, and there we see the first Hellions moving on across the minimap. I'm going to actually attack with my queens right now, since my Zergling speed is not finished. Just going to threaten a little bit with my Zerglings, just buy some time. And right now I'm just going to send all my queens down the ramp, trying to save the weakened one right there, because he will not be able to move up the ramp anyway. And right there we see my next 100 gas being spent on the lair upgrade, which is going to be the next most important thing that I can do. Right now I'm going to keep spreading all kinds of creep. Just because, like I said, it's really important. And at this point, I think he will be going Banshees. It's pretty tough for me to scout right now, but I know he has a third gas up as well, so I feel kind of safe. And there we see the Banshee actually going down. So I'm going to start Spore Crawlers right now. I'm a little bit worried about my third base right now, because I don't see any drones right there that I can morph into Spore Crawlers right now. In the case of him going for Cloak, but turns out he wasn't really going for my third base anyway, so I'm going to just make 2 Spore Crawlers right there to be sure that I can hold it. And since I'm having some excess creep or some excess energy, I'm going to use that to morph some more creep tumors in my main. Actually getting a nicer round right here. A little bit of a sloppy play right here by him, and I actually lose 1 queen right there. But besides that, all is looking pretty damn good. Now, since my lair is about to be finished, or it is actually already finished, I'm going to start a Overseer right now. And since he is attacking my my spawning pool for some reason, I don't really know why, because I have enough energy for 3 or 4 transfuses right here, I'm just going to kill off this first Banshee right here, trying to get the second one as well with the Overseer that I created, but not going to happen since he is going to be able to get away. But right now everything is looking pretty good. Going to put the drones into my 3rd and 4th gas guys right now and keep droning up. Also gonna start my 5th and 6th gas guys, because those will be necessary pretty soon. Also gonna start +2/+2. And at this point I feel pretty safe. My infestation pit is on its way, if I'm not mistaken right now. It should be at the very least. And yeah, that is also looking really good. I'm actually going to start a macro hatch right now. The macro hatch will help me out for any kind of push that might be going on, especially since I have a lot of excess queen energy because of the pushes that he did. But besides that, everything is looking pretty solid right now. All I need to do right now is actually just making more and more drones. Most important thing is that I get a bunch of infestors out to keep going on in his base, or in his to actually keep cancelling out his attacks when he decides to push out. Now, I still have 1 queen completely dedicated to creep spreading. As you can see, a lot of creep tumors are already going down right now, which means that it's really important for me to just keep going to his side of the map. Once I get across the half spot, once I get like the middle of position of the map, I can start spreading into his direction much easier, and he will have to spend so many scans to actually clear out all that creep, and it will buy me so much time once he is actually clearing out all that creep. So right now I see his 3rd base just landed. What I'm going to do is just attack it a little bit, just harassing a little bit, maybe giving a little bit of an edge right now. And I see with my Overseer that he is going for mass barracks, as well as Marine Marauder medevac. So what I will need at this point is just a lot of Zerglings, a lot of infestors, and I will need to tech up to Hive relatively soon to start. There we go, actually I'm starting my Hive already. And what I prefer to do against Marine Marauder medevac is just defending with spores and spine crawlers and going for ultralisk in the late game. So right now you don't see me throwing up a spire just yet, because I will not need it. What I'm going to do instead is just keep pushing a little bit with my Zerglings, checking on what's going on. Maybe I get a nice fungal off right now with my infestors. There we go, getting 1 nice fungal off. Probably gonna get a second one as well, getting a tank as well, but I'm not going to commit to it too much because my upgrades aren't really finished just yet, and this was just meant for a little bit of pressure. Right now going to just keep funneling his army, a little bit of a pressure right there, and I'm checking my upgrades. Turns out I only just now finished my +2/+2, so my pressure was a little bit too early, but it doesn't really matter. I know I killed enough army to keep him back in his base for just a while longer, and he probably won't really dare to move out just yet, especially since he just started so many barracks and another command center as well at his third base. So right now I feel relatively safe. Just going to keep making stuff, and I'm also going to save up some minerals and some gas to start +3/+3, as well as the adrenal glands upgrade, as well as the ultralisk den that will be able to start it. That all will be able to get started relatively soon. Just because my hive is about to be finished, and he actually starts pushing out a little bit right now, wasting a scan, getting a lot of good creep tumors right there. But I'm actually having a big reinforcement right here with a lot of stuff, and my hive is about to be finished, and it actually is already finished. So I'm going to start +3/+3 as well as adrenal glands, as well as the ultralisk den right now. Also going to instantly make spines and spores in my fourth base, because that is one of the most droppable, I don't know if that's actually a word, but it's one of the most easy to drop locations right now. So I'm just going to keep spreading all the creep around, making sure it gets everything that I can be able to get right now. And at this point, I know that I'm pretty far ahead, even though I am behind in supply right now. I have a really solid army. I have ultralisk coming in. I have +3/+3 going down right now, and I'm also going to morph some infest, or what is it called, overseers right now, just in case of him moving out. With the tanks on the high ground right now, I will need the overseers to actually spot them, and I will have infested Terrans to clean up those tanks, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. I see my ultralisk den is already finished, so I'm going to start ultralisk right now. As you can see, I'm instantly going ahead and going about 40 supply in the plus right now. I'm just going to attack a little bit into this. Actually trying to get some nice fungals off if I can, and I actually do manage to get some nice fungals off. So what I'm going to do is just throw down some creep tumors, just trying to push him back. I know he's on creep, I know I can surround his army right now. So what I'm going to do is actually fungal some, I think, yeah, I actually do manage to fungal some medevacs as well, but I'm not going to commit too much to it. Actually trying to move into this third base apparently as well. Not sure if that is the best thing to do, but right now I'm just wasting energy on my infestors. They are not really important, so right now I know my ultralisk are on its way. And I know that I am able to actually start pushing ahead relatively soon. Checking for his fourth base right now. Turns out he doesn't have a fourth base, and the only thing that I really wasted right now is Zerglings. I don't think I lost any infestors, maybe one or two, but all I really wasted was Zerglings and energy on my infestors. So right now I'm just going to mess up my big army of Ling, Ultralisk and infestors right now. That's all I'm going to need to clean up this game. He is most likely going to start marauder production right now. That is something that I have to keep in mind, but right now I'm not going to spire just yet. I don't need to spire just yet because I know his marauder count will not be big enough. But at this point I just want to make sure that he won't get his fourth base from starting to mine. The fourth base is the one thing that could put him ahead right now. But right now I have a Ling at his fourth base right now, seeing what's going on, and I know it's not down just yet. So what I'm going to do is just mess up my army, making sure that I get as much stuff out on the map right now as we speak. So once again, I got my queen right here. The queen is going to be necessary to put down more and more creep tumors. That's actually something that I started doing only recently. I know it's going to be very important for me to keep spreading creep. And it's actually something that I didn't do for quite some time. But as soon as you lose creep tumors, I would definitely advise you to just start a queen right now, and maybe start an excess queen as well, just for the extra creep spread, because the creep spread will be the one thing that will make it a lot easier to push. And here I'm actually going to push once again, since I'm at max supply, going to try and push down some infested Terrans as well as some nice fungals right there, trying to make this army a little bit smaller where I am at max supply, so I know I can lose some stuff. Going to actually move back. Going to start throwing down some infested Terrans right here, making a pretty big mistake of throwing them on the ramp right now, which will actually get my own ultralisk stuck, which is a pretty stupid thing by me to do, but not the biggest of deals right now. My aim right here was to actually just clean out his army a little bit, and I'm going to use the lost energy that I have on my infestors to throw down some more infested Terrans at his third base. And right now I'm just going to reinforce with more Lings, more ultralisk and more infestors if I am able to. Apparently my infestors are a little bit dancing right now, but I'm just going to use those to get some energy down. Moving my army actually a little bit closer to the watchtower in case he is going to attack my infested, but it turns out he wasn't really doing that. And right now I see a big SCV train going for his fort base, so I know the fort base is pretty much up, but since I managed to clear down his third once again, I know that I'm still a base ahead. And actually, to be honest, I should be expanding all over the place right now, which is something that I definitely should be doing a lot more just to get the extra gas production going on. Right now I'm also going to start my Spire, because the Spire will be able to get me the Brood Lords out if I feel like necessary. But right now, well, I'm kind of max supply once again, going to try and run some drones into his mineral line, but it turns out he is attacking right now with drops. Really late dropping play right there by him. I don't really know why he was waiting that long, but I'm going to have to clean out those drops before I actually start pushing myself. And since there's a lot of important tech in my main, I should really not lose that. But I already made a second spawning pool in the early part of the game, since he was trying to kill that off with the Banshees early on. So I'm not really feeling too worried now. Right now I am at max supply. I got some nice creep spread going on. Right now I know he might have his third base back up. I know he might have a fourth base up as well, which is something that I need to worry about a little bit. But right now it is going all pretty good. I'm just going to make a nice bank, because that's all I really need to clear him out. Just in case, I'm also going to start my Broodlord production pretty soon, just in case it is necessary. But right now we got the final engagement coming in, and this is a really important thing to do, guys. You have one infestor right here, as you can see, and what you're going to use that infestor for is actually just to throw all kinds of infested Terrans on his tanks, and that is the point that you should move in with your army, because the tanks are distracted, they are taking a lot of damage. And right now I'm going to fungal everything, going to actually put as many creep tumors or as many infested Terrans as I can, and that's pretty much it. I want to thank you guys all for watching. If you enjoyed this game, please hit me a thumbs up, as well as a comment in the section below. I want to thank you all for watching. Have an awesome day, don't forget to smile, and I see you again. Bye!